tropical flowers disrupted. Climate change alters bloom times across ecosystems. Tropical flowering plants are blooming at unpredictable times, sometimes months earlier, sometimes later, due to the accelerating climate crisis, according to a new study. Researchers analyzed over 8,000 plant specimens collected over 200 years and found that flowering cycles are shifting at an alarming rate, with potentially disastrous consequences for entire ecosystems. The unexpected impact on the tropics for years, scientists believed that the stable temperatures of tropical regions would buffer these ecosystems from the worst impacts of climate change. This assumption has now been disproven. The study, led by Skylar Graves of the University of Colorado Boulder, shows that no place on Earth is immune to climate-driven disruption. This is particularly concerning because the tropics are home to approximately 1/3 of the planet's biodiversity, including nearly 180 newly discovered species each year. The disruption of flowering cycles threatens the delicate balance of these complex ecosystems. Shifting bloom times, evidence from the field, the data reveals a clear trend. Flowering times are shifting by an average of 2 days per decade. For example, the Brazilian amaranth tree now blooms 80 days later than it did in the 1950s, while the Ghanaian rattlepod shrub flowers 17 days earlier than it did during the same period. These changes, based on analysis of museum specimens dating back to 1794, are not isolated incidents, but widespread patterns. Cascading ecosystem affects the core problem is that flowering plants are the foundation of tropical food webs. When bloom times become erratic, it throws off the timing for pollinators, seed dispersers, and other animals that depend on these plants for survival. Ecosystems are very delicate webs of interactions. If there is one element out of sync, especially with the plants, things can fall apart at every level. Skylar Graves imagine a migratory bird arriving to feed on nectar during its usual season, only to find the flowers have already bloomed and withered. Or a fruit-eating animal finding no ripe fruit when it needs it most. These mismatches can trigger cascading failures throughout the ecosystem, jeopardizing even species already at risk, such as primates. Why this matters? A global blind spot, tropical ecosystems have been historically understudied, and their vulnerability has been overlooked. The tropics are a crucial component of planetary health, and changes in these regions will inevitably have ripple effects worldwide. The mechanisms behind these shifts are varied. Some species respond to warmer temperatures, while others rely on cooler nighttime temperatures to trigger flowering. Climate change disrupts these cues, leading to both earlier and later bloom times, even within the same geographic area. Urgent need for conservation. The study underscores the need for increased conservation efforts in tropical regions. As Dr. Emma Bush of Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh notes, these ecosystems have been understudied and misunderstood for far too long. The evidence is mounting that different species respond to climate change at different rates, and the consequences of this imbalance could be catastrophic. The disruption of tropical flowering cycles is not just an environmental issue. It is a fundamental threat to global biodiversity and ecosystem stability. Sustained research, monitoring, and conservation efforts are critical to mitigate these impacts and safeguard these vital ecosystems before it is too late.